Well, hi, there you are. Welcome back to the garden. Didn't know if you were going to show up or not.
Well, come on in, let's plant.
Today is Friday, April 21st. And you know what we do at my house on Fridays? We
A
plant.
couple of these are pumpkins, I know for sure. Then we got some watermelon, we got some cantaloupe, and our okra is doing wonderful. Our green tomatoes, our yellow zucchini. It's gonna have to wait another couple days. Why are we planting in the greenhouse? Because we plant on Friday. It's beautiful out there right now. I just checked the forecast and they're still saying 35 on Saturday morning. And at my house, that means we got a real good chance of frost. So we're going to trust our instincts and we're not going to plant in the garden today. Even though I really want to. But I did find something, so we need to plant. Now these guys got clever and put 3 different kinds of basil in this container, and they were charging $2.50. That's under $1 a plant, because I'll show you what we're going to do.
Basil does really well in containers. Now, if you remember what we did with that last basil I got, check out how well they've done. Now, we cut all 3 of these back, and look right here. I mean, they're already bushing out. So you can do this too. Basil's really easy and really forgiving. And yes, I didn't need another green basil, but this big monster basil and this purple basil, I haven't got any of those started yet, and I want some in the garden. So I've got a little depression in the compost, because when these come apart, I want to get them in the ground pretty quick. But look at those roots. These need to be planted. Now you could plant this all as one bunch, and you're going to get a nice little bouquet of basil. If you separate these out and just kind of tease them apart, be gentle. And this is moist enough, and you're not going to hurt these roots if you tear them a little bit at the bottom. But you give each one of these a container, and they'll go 3 times as big as if you put them all together as one. And now that we've got it broken down this far, let's wash these roots so we can separate them. So we can see what we got to work with. They got them matted in here, they got them planted pretty close together. So this is going to be a little challenge if you just gently work these apart. As long as they got any of the roots left on them, we're going to be okay. And this is a double right here. And look at that, just by taking it apart, we've got another little basil right there. I'm going to put that back in this container. Okay, so that's still got quite a bit of roots. We've got a nice root coming off of the stem. So I'm going to plant this. And remember, on a basil, the entire stem will root. So I'm going to pinch out those bottom 2 leaves, snug it down in. Backfill around it, snug it down in. And there you go. They're going to come apart a little easier now that we got it kind of broken apart. Since we wash them, those roots do separate pretty easily. I'm going to plant you in here. So just like that other one, I'm going to pinch off these bottom leaves. Where those leaves are, remember where the leaves are coming out, that is a node. And that's where the next batch of roots will come from. Get those roots down in there. And then backfill with your compost. And just snug it down in there. I just like purple plants. It seems like these are down in a little ways, but as they get a little bigger, then we can mulch in around them. They're going to be outside when it warms up. And then again, for this one, just pinch these bottom leaves off. You don't want to pull down on the stem. If you don't have sharp fingernails, you might want to use the scissors. Remember, this whole thing will root. That's why I pre-dug the hole. You just backfill your compost in around there. snug it down in. And in your container, just make a little divot. Set your little plant down in there, roots all the way down, just like everything else. Backfill. I can backfill with the stuff up on the sides. Just snug it in there. You got a happy little plant. You sure do like these juice containers. Makes controlling your water really easy. One thing about the greenhouse, on a nice day, it does dry everything out pretty quickly, so you got to make sure you keep watering. You don't want to lose all your brand new plants. Oh yeah. By the way, we got sunflowers. Got word from one of our viewers, they don't plant anything till Memorial Day. Sort of like I wait till May 1st. Although I kind of jumped the gun this year. But I think if we're past Saturday morning, we ought to be okay. We got a week of drizzly, kind of cool weather coming up. So I'll bet some of this gets planted out in the rain. You know how I like to plant in the rain. Speaking of rain, you probably heard we had a pretty good tornado outbreak here in Oklahoma. They're pretty far from us, so we're okay. But some of our viewers were affected. Got word from one of them, they kind of tore up their container garden. Everybody that's affected by that tornado is in our prayers. And you know, when you hear something like that, waiting a few days to plant in the garden is not a hardship at all. You can do this too. And until next time, remember, take care of yourself, take care of your family, and God bless you. Come on, let's plant.
Let's go plant garden.